clapper out because everybody knows it. Everybody knows how much I love to clap.
Here I am.
Listen, we are skating in a few minutes late, but hey, better late than never. It's Ladies' Day here on the Mia Connect Power Chat. We're going to talk about fitness. I'm here with my trainer. This is Ashley DePaulis of Ash Fitness.
Hi.
And this is Lisa Lynn of Lynn Fit. Hello, darling. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Wish I had Ashley as a trainer.
Oh, right.
We all need one.
Right?
It's true. Yes.
Do you? Yeah, because you can't. Thou shalt not train yourself. Is that probably a
I'm pretty hard on myself, but you can always grow with someone next to you.
Yes.
This is what I love. So talk about the power of connection and collaboration. So plan this show. Laura Fabiani, let's give a shout out to her real quick.
I love you, Laura. Did she tell you how we met, by the way?
No, tell us.
At a book signing at the Book Show Expo America, and I don't know why, but instantly I connect with a lot of people, but she instantly sparkled me, and I literally picked her up.
You got Fabiani'd.
That's right. That's right. That's my new thing. I picked her up physically like that, but I just love that girl's energy.
And so Laura's been on my show. If you guys remember, we had the book blogger show. Laura is just amazing. Got us all reading. So thanks to her, she pinged me and said, "Would you like to have Lisa on your show?" And I was like, the Pope Catholic, yeah, because she's rocking out. And then of course Ashley and I came up with this idea for the 50 and 6, and we'll tell you more about that. Then I put these two together, and that was a great thing. When I started talking with Lisa, then talking with Ashley, yes, they're both trainers, but the synergy already for all of us has been great. Lisa, you were reading through Ashley's stuff, and you just loved it, right?
Yep. It's like The Biggest Loser because, Ashley, you know this. I wish I had you to work with every day because sometimes we can't reach people, and it's always an internal block stalking them. So it's nice to have the good cop, bad cop because it's very temperamental with people. You can push them, but push them too far, and they're done.
Yes.
Yes, and I love it that in your, and guys, we'll get into the bio, but in your bio, it says that that Martha Stewart had said you're one of the first people that it actually worked for her. So I think for all the trainers, there is a certain magic and a chemistry, a little romance that finally works with people.
And we fall in love with our clients, don't we? And to the point where we want to see you do good more than you do sometimes. And I can get really frustrated because I want to reach people and they won't let me help them.
But you wrote the book, and we're going to talk about that too, which is fantastic. So I mean, you've got a lot going on. Ashley's cranking it out too. I posted both of your blog posts, and Lisa, I just posted yours this morning. But listen, we're going to jump. Yes, because it's again, I did this last year. For those of you who've been watching my show that long, we actually did it in October because I was saying to Lisa the other day, it's kind of the start of the eating season is Halloween, and then it doesn't quit for 2 solid months of chowing.
And then we try to dig out of the hole. Hopefully by Easter our faces surface, but it really, especially if you're in a snowy area like you are, this is tough time.
It is. Now, it's nice for us right now. Oh, God bless Buffalo. Oh. Well, their exercise is going to be digging out from 6 feet of snow. So, But hey, listen, the backpack is up in this mug, and you guys know who the backpack is. That's you. That's you out in the audience listening and watching. So please bring it good. So we've got some fun people that are popping up in there. Oh, Linette is here. She's celebrating early, and thank you for the invite. I know Candy is here. Here's a great comment from Laura. Looking forward to it. Lisa is such a warm personality. I click with her immediately, so clearly you two are on the same page. It'll be great to meet Ashley. Staying fit is so important on so many levels, which we're definitely going to get into, of it not just being about workouts. The thing I've learned the most from working out with you, Ashley, is that combination of the mind, body, spirit.
Yep.
Most certainly. The way that we talk to ourselves.
Preach the gospel. We have another one here from Hi PV. Thanks for the invite. We'll be watching for sure. Great week ahead. Elaine, this is good. And then everybody was offering great advice. She's go for extra exercise and a small plate to maintain during the holidays. So look at how people are preaching already. You gotta love that. Here's my favorite one from my brother, Craig Fifield. Just get wicked drunk the night before each holiday. The
I love that.
Make it really easy to not overindulge. You know what? Hashtag The pro knows, and he does, my brother. My brother and I, we love our booze. Here's my girl Carmen. She says, dance while you cook. Works for me. That bird may burn, but the chick stays fit.
So cute, by the way, that comment.
That was very cute. I'm glad you got to see those this week. Jeff is here in Colorado with the Holistic Edge. His workout is everywhere. Namaste, brother. Namaste. That is very true. Sherrill says, I just reached the goal of 2 weeks and no eating out. So proud of myself.
Amen.
That's a big one, right, guys?
Yes,
Huge.
eating out can cause you to get extra calories.
People
Well,
underestimate that, eating out. Do you know that there's a statistic? You're guaranteed to have a weight problem if you eat out even once a week. Even if you
Seriously?
special order. Yes. And a lot of people, maybe you navigate it. I've learned how, but it's really difficult for people. Some will say they eat healthier when they eat out, but if you really they're just not honest in the back always. There's clutter that is stuff. Even if the portion's not huge, things sneak in that really bump up the calories.
Yes.
So
So
kudos to you.
Yes, that's a good one. I got another one. Danielle Miller's here. Hi, sister. She says, happy Friday, friends. So, again, and Krystalle is in the audience. She had a meeting rescheduled, but she's here. She is one healthy mama. She is going to be a mama soon, actually. So let's say congrats to on upcoming Bambino, because we know it's going to be a boy. So, but please, everybody, Krystalle, everybody out there, I'd love to have your, I saw the different pieces of advice, and that way, too, we can sort of dispel any myths. I know, Lynn, you're going to talk about some myths too, but we'll dive into that as far as eating out. You're absolutely right. You can't really control it, especially if you have any kind of food allergies and so forth.
Totally.
Yes, we're really good here in Colorado with that, but
Depends
still.
on where you are too.
It's a smart, conscious choice that when you're trying to lose weight, try not to eat out until you're really sure you can navigate the waters. And a lot of people slow down their weight loss because of this.
Oh, that's a good one too. You're right. Look at this comment from Carmen. She's not dropping any hints, but she forgot to eat dinner last night, and then she's saying hi.
Good girl.
I know to Candy, Coach G, Nazim, Elena. She hopes she didn't miss anyone. Yeah, we've got some good people out in
I have yet to ever forget to eat dinner, to be honest, so I commend her for that. I just never forget to eat.
Well, that was one of my favorite things that you posted for me on Instagram, because that is something. It's a forget to eat. I just get so busy, and we'll jump into that program. But that's one of the things that Ashley's had to work on the most with me, is keeping fed consistently, because that my body can be in WTF mode a lot. Like, when is this bitch gonna feed me? So here's a quick funny. I don't know if you guys saw the video series that we have, because that's been a good motivator. Is Ashley asked me if you had like so nap, what would it say? And I just said that thing would probably say eat.
That's
bitch.
right. Or die.
That's our hashtag.
Yeah.
Eat bitch. Eat bitch, because I can't. So, well, listen, Lisa, let's talk about you real quick. I want to hear your background, and then I want to hear, Ashley, what kind of got you into this, because nothing's more important for all of my guests is to hear what your motivation is to bring you into that expert field and how you can help us, because everybody has a journey and everybody has something personal that got them to that. So, Lisa, let's jump into that. Hear about you.
Interesting. I actually forget that I was 40 pounds overweight, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I was teaching 3 hours of impact. Remember the high impact back in the day aerobics?
The one that makes me want to go to a chiropractor right now.
I mean, I couldn't even think of doing it now. An hour and 15 minutes on the Stairmaster. I was eating vegetarian, and I was training with the muscle heads in the gym, because I kept thinking more is better if I just worked out. And I actually a little healthier then than I do now. Like now I will enjoy a piece of chocolate. If I want a diet soda once or twice a month, I have it. I didn't then. I'm so very anal macrobiotic, not knowing food was 90%, and no one ever asked me, how much of that oatmeal are you eating in the morning? Because I was eating so healthy, I was working with, holistic practitioners. So everything that I learned when trying to lose weight is what I put in the book, because everybody falls in the same hole. We all fall the same way. And it wasn't about exercise. It was about cleaning up my diet. And you know the saying, you are what you eat, or it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. I never really got that. I was always pretty happy, but I didn't know what I was stuffing until I stopped stuffing it, and then all the real emotions came out.
Oh, so the emotion thing is huge. And now, of course, it seems like a chick fest right now, but what we really are, my audience, I love this, my audience really is 50-50 in the male-female, so we want to talk about that. Yeah, they do, and it can be an emotional thing too. I mean, there's different types of ways we medicate ourselves. Food can definitely be it. Alcohol, food could be an alcohol.
I like all the drugs. Exercise can be one as well, by the way. And
yeah.
I have a lot of male clients because of the CEOs, the people with the names over the businesses who struggle the most, and they get dysregulated. They don't know their speeds, or maybe they know they're going too fast in life, but they don't know how to slow down. My signpost is when my eating gets out of control. And nobody really talks about this because there's a diet on there's a diet for every minute of the day. There's a gym on every street corner. Why are we getting heavier by the minute? So I wrote.
Yeah, talk about some numbers for that, Lisa. Can you give me some stats on that for our U.S. statistics on weight and what body mass is like?
Well, now it's growing literally by the second, and I think 1 out of 3 kids is going to be overweight, which I care more about. They're going to be the first generation that dies younger than we do. But I did lots of shows on Dr. Oz. I was the one that brought the raspberry ketones, Tim. And one of my biggest pet peeves, to be honest, was I always argue we have got to do behavior modification because it's not just about food and taking supplements. We have got to show them something they can do every day to move. Just move. And then I don't mind discussing supplements, but on those shows they only want you to talk supplements. They keep you on the red dot, I call it. And it bothered me because I was one of those people. Here's a pill, buy it, and I took it and nothing happened. I got heavier and more broke. So I felt really passionate about.
You say you got heavier and more broke?
Yeah, more broke. Sorry about the slang.
I can totally see that. So that's going back to the bottom line dollar, which would be hard to fight against when you're on a commercial, on a television show, for you to say like, no, I don't want to just sell something. It's got to be a full lifestyle.
And you have to say what they tell you on there. So every time I showed up to do a segment, oh, we don't have time for the exercise part, cut. Oh, we don't have time for the food, like how to make food really be enjoyable, because I believe it should be. I believe we should embrace it. So I chose to self-publish. I had offers on the table because I wasn't going to lie to people. I had been lied to. I got more overweight. I got depressed. And I thought maybe I had people losing weight. It just wasn't in the cards for me. I didn't believe it. And so I felt really passionate to inspire people and tell them the truth. Sometimes you're not losing weight. It's not all your fault.
Yeah, it's encouraging, but yeah, again, to be brave and kind of get out there and say like, no, that's not the way it is. You need the full thing. So let me back up for a second too. When did you start in this whole industry? Because I know that you've obviously, I love that you sort of have the male-female thing. You've collaborated with the originator or the guy who started Men's Fitness, right?
That's right. And he was the one who taught me everything I knew, Dr. Hatfield. And we did market research in the labs. But what I really learned was, he said, I need your help. I keep the wrestlers bulked up at the WWF at the time. And so everything we did to keep the wrestlers bulked, so they had to be stocky on the mat for TV, were all the things I found people were doing to lose weight, including me. The nuts, the avocados. Now, if you're a moderator, there's no reason to cut those out of your life. But I don't moderate anything. I do everything big and a lot. So I didn't moderate an avocado. I ate the whole thing. And I realized this is where the trap is. Like, I call it the Oz trap. He tells you to eat avocado because it's going to slim your thighs. Women think, well, more is better, right? And so I really had my aha moment there.
Oh, I bet. Like, okay, you need that piece of information, which is what Ashley and I work on too, but then the instructions that go with it as well, which cracks me up. I love that Dr. Whitfield is known as AKA Dr. Squat.
I know, right? But you know, you don't realize this isn't always communicated in our circles at the gym. It's because we sell fitness. And so a lot of the gyms are train with us more, right? Exercise more, do this class, and it all has to go together, as well as what are you running away from?
So back to the emotional thing, right?
That's right. It always goes back to the emotional. We want this. Why aren't we taking the steps to go there? We have the rules. Why aren't we following them? What's in your way? Sometimes people really don't know anymore, to be honest.
No. So, and it could be, again, that could be a male-female thing. It could be, I saw this person in a movie, I saw this person in an article, I saw a friend that's wearing this. So knowing body type, and I just have to tell you something funny. I just happened to watch this movie. It was on HBO called Fat Girls. It's from about 10 years ago, and it's Monique, who I just love. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
PHA, Fat Girls. And it was just, first of all, I wish there was more of it, and I'm sure it would be like, listen, skinny white bitch, stop talking about fat girls. But I love the message of it because it at one point her love interest said, listen, you're never going to be a size 5, and the way she heard it, and they showed it later of it like echoing in her head, and he was saying it as a compliment of like, that's not your body type. Gosh, if you guys ever, it was such a really charming movie.
That's a huge message because where we
a big message. I loved it.
Yeah, because everybody's looking sideways, and it's like I'm not 6 feet tall. I'm small. So even at a small weight, I have what you'll call that endomorph look. I always look strong. I don't have a ballerina body, and I never will, even when I starve myself. And we have to accept and embrace who we are and learn to love ourselves. And I was one of the ones who said, well, when I get in shape, I'll be able to do that. When I lose weight, then I'll be able to. Ironically, I must have had angels carrying me because somehow I got over the finish line and I got buffed working in that place to beyond what I ever dreamt of. And I remember looking in the mirror thinking, everything that bugs me, and this happens with men, everything that bothers me still bothers me, and I'm buffed to the nines. Now it's time to dig deep. So I like to do things in the back door, I guess you could say.
You're like, I'll get to it eventually. Don't rush me.
Not proud of it, but I always take the back door.
No, but I love that. Thank you for being honest of what your process is, because if you're watching a lot of these experts and gurus and they're showing you this perfect process and that's the only way to get to it, you're already losing, and not in a good way of like, okay, I can't get to that, or I've already set up for failure. So it seems like a lot of the things that are out there do set people up for failure. I just need to pop in this comment. This is from my brother Jeff C. Sorry he's late, he had to grab his Slim Fast to go with his Big Mac.
By the way, keep your sense of humor, because if you're getting closer to 50 than you are 40, you know you need that to survive now.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah, and I have a couple comments. Let me pull in a couple more comments too. I love this from Krystalle. Feel good about what you eat and eat what you feel good about. Ancient fitness secret. Absolutely. My girl Susan Finch, the weeks I plan a menu instead of the last minute, just something quick and easy. We save money, I lose weight, and I sleep better. Eating out is eating a salt lick.
Good stuff.
Oh my gosh. So thank you so much though for being here, because I love what you're doing, and of course we want to talk about your book. But let me spin over here to Ashley. I want to hear about you and how you got into fitness. And she of course is here in Denver. Ashley is in my second Crave book, which is how we met each other, which is our Crave Denver book for women entrepreneurs. And I'll tell our story, and then you tell how you got into it. But we were at an event about 2 months ago, and I just got this brainstorm, and I was literally like texting you during the event. I think you were like 2 seats away from me. And I came up with this idea of, I knew that I wanted to get fit. I had tried P90X and hurt myself.
Yes.
And the insanity workout. I tried a couple other things and would get into it. I loved TRX. I did try that fitness, but just could not stick with anything. I'd get a month, and so I said, if Ashley, let's do this 50 and 6, because I turned 50 in March. I'm like, let's do this program where we do videos, accountability, and so we started building it. And I said, because I think women or people that are getting this age, I'm not in menopause, but look at it's around the corner. I'm sure it's lurking somewhere.
Yes.
So let's face of like what our different body types are, and then it was great to build something that works for me.
Yes,
that's right. Best thing you ever did for yourself, right?
Oh my gosh, and it was such a brainstorm, and we got so excited when we started talking about it. So now we have a video, accountability, we have a Google Docs that keeps me on it, and it's everything. It's meditation, it's eating, it's obviously workouts, and then but talk about the digging deep, Lisa, you're talking about. You've been able to uncover some serious flaws, and like, why are you doing that? I don't know, but we'll talk about it. So, but tell me how you got into fitness. You've got an interesting background.
So yes, my story is similar yet a little different, because I didn't figure out till kind of the back end that mental piece. But my background, I have my master's in public health and health promotion, education, and behavior, and worked for a period of time in health policy, and it was all about educating state lawmakers and their staff about different health programs the CDC was putting out in their states, looking at policies that states are implementing, what's working, what's not. a huge disconnect for me when I was working in that field was I know that a lot of the programs try to get at behavior change, but they don't always get there,
Right.
as well as they would like to, because they're working within systems, they're working with large populations. And for me personally, I really wanted to be able to connect with people more. And I had been teaching in my undergrad. I worked at a YMCA. Throughout my time working in clinical research and in health policy, I taught fitness classes. So I wanted to kind of get back to that and see how I could take my kind of research and policy experience and weave that into working one-on-one with folks, and then ultimately helping to connect other healthcare practitioners, and that would first be here in Colorado, that are working on similar issues or treating people in similar ways, but could possibly provide some sort of new network of folks, more holistic care. So, kind of my background story, I grew up in New York and was very active. My parents used to take me on these crazy bike rides that would make my legs hurt. I don't even know. I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, I loved it, but I would get to a point of, like, my body hurts, Mom and Dad. I'm only, like, 7.
So familiar.
No, my parents aren't, like, super active. We were never, like, gym. They are active, but in, like, they do work outdoors. We'd go on walks. We'd go to the lake, that type of thing. So I think it was, for me, growing up, a lifestyle. And I think that's what really helps me help other people, because I don't try to make it like you have to go to the gym this many times. You have to, you know, there's something that works different for everybody.
Right.
So you have to find what works for you. And with that, I was in 2 major car accidents, one more major than the other, but this is kind of how the mental piece links into all of it, because I've always been active. And then I had a really bad accident when I was 19, broke my back, came back from that, and because I had a surgeon who's actually the surgeon for the Dallas Cowboys, orthopedic surgeon for the Dallas Cowboys. So he was he told me, have you ever heard of the ABCs of life? Adversity builds character. So I carried that with me, and so I was always like working from this masculine energy place, like the harder I work, the better it'll be, and, you know, kind of what Lisa was talking about, the more I do, the better it'll be.
But without a direction, you're rudderless, right? But you don't know that, because you do just feel like, just give me the recipe, I'm going to power on through this, power through the pain, which is definitely a competitive sports attitude.
Yes.
Totally.
So with that, you know, kept working out, you know, doing my thing, and then I was in an accident last year, not as bad, but realized that I was dealing with PTSD. So that got me into, I actually, because I was boxing for a while with a boxing coach.
You love how manly all my gals are. These hot chicks are just squatting, eating the crap out of
our masculine side.
We got a good balance here, people.
Yes.
And I told him after that accident, because I couldn't box, I was like, now, I don't know what it was that clicked in me, but I was like, now it's time to work on the mental piece. And that's where I really kind of got to dig deep into how to deal with PTSD, how to deal with, because it kind of numbs you from your emotions, and when you're numbed from your emotions, you can't feel the good or the bad. And I always kind of felt stuck in processing my emotions.
Sure.
So now I've gotten out of that, and I realized that that's such a huge thing for people, how we talk to ourselves, how we treat ourselves, how we're going to process our feelings and emotions, and that's what brought me to igniting your inner athlete. And we say we say for me, adorn your inner athlete.
You know what I think is huge? If you did P90X, you get this. We get high from our workouts. And there was a time where there could have been 6 feet of snow, and I just was a P90X all day, every day, sick, no matter what. And once you get a taste of that serenity, that good feeling, doing the right amount at the right time, no push, there's nothing better. And it's a gift to heal, to get where you are and say, I could take a nice walk and do that now. A lot of the world is struggling there.
It is,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, and I want to segue into that with when we're talking about these emotions that you both, and I'm so glad you both are, and listen, these two didn't talk before.
No, we didn't.
No.
So I was so happy to hear everything that you were saying when you
Right,
spoke.
right. Just
And
like
you bring up a good point with the post-traumatic stress disorders. I kind of lived that way, and I didn't know that if I wasn't eating it, I was exercising it. So all these mud mom crazy type where your plan is smart and on track and realistic, they're not realistic. Like people ask me to do them all the time. I'm like, oh, no, I'll break a nail. Are you kidding? 10, 15 years ago, I would have jumped because harder. And no one's talking about this sedation, post-traumatic stress. You don't know you have it?
Mm-hmm.
Stop overworking out, stop overeating, and you will find out what you have been stuffing.
Yes.
Wow, and I bet I can imagine how many people out in the audience are bobbleheading.
That was a goosebump moment.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Stop the stuffing now, and let's segue into that. Which I have a quick comment from Krystalle. She said something. Oh gosh, she thought she had permanent ghetto booty until she started doing some deep cleansing and real life transformation. Then she found Bikram yoga. Oh, I love this. Go read her comment. Oh, I definitely have ghetto booty, and I'm okay with that. That's how I know if I tell you that my litmus test with Greg. If I say, does my butt look big in this, and he says no, it's not a good thing.
That's right. Yeah, men want junk in the trunk, as they say, and it's funny that women go totally after the exact opposite of what men want. We're not really communicating. I think if we did, there would be so much more peace with our bodies.
Yeah, they're definitely not as hard on our bodies as we are.
No,
and I mean they're not even hard on it.
That's right.
Yeah, we are characterizing you guys, but it is for a reason. Quick comment from Felicia, one of first-time watchers. She had to set an alarm to remind herself to eat lunch. Those are hashtag entrepreneur problems. Yeah, it's very true, and good to see you out here. So let's talk about that, especially when we want to dive into. Clearly, we're here, and if you're just tuning in, by the way, you're watching and listening to the Mia Connect Power Chat. This is Ashley DePaulis. This right here is Miss Lisa Lynn, and we are talking about staying healthy especially during the holiday season. So let's segue into that about talking with the emotions, because, oh my God, do holidays not bring out the cray-cray?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Because of all these so now you're moving from the commercials of the fit to the commercials of this is what your life should look like, the happy family, things like that, the keeping up with the Joneses, going to the parties. So give us some tips on that.
Oh, and you can hear this all morning I was training all these people, and lots of them were saying how they're getting ready for the holidays. So now the wife has lost weight. The husband needs to, and he wants all kind of food at Thanksgiving that the family doesn't need. And this really needs to be a win-win, or someone needs to kind of become a leader and start new trends in a fun way. So we're not depriving each other. Like, I have a way to get things out and put them out and make people have fun, and they leave and they don't even know. It's like surgery. They don't even know what happened to them.
which one of y'all kicked me? They don't know what hit them.
Right, like I'm going to whip cauliflower and carrots, and I whip it so well, and I do not add sour cream and fat and all that paleo, not good for you stuff. But I whip it, and it looks so pretty. I have a little bit of Martha in me, but I'm not the best cook, that people won't even know. They'll think, oh, are these the mashed potatoes? Yeah. Let's go with that. You know, like I used to say, oh, no, it's so good for you. Wrong. Don't tell them. Oh,
yeah,
you may not want to have.
That's the best way to get them to be like, you know.
It brings in that emotional thing also of, you know, you don't have to start your day. Do you know how many people get up on Thanksgiving and eat pancakes for breakfast? Like, you know you're cheating later. What are you thinking of? But somehow making it be fun and festive and not realize, because you should embrace food, but you should eat on a smaller plate. And I've learned, you know, when dysfunctional family comes around, numb is an understatement of the year. Don't eat. Put the fork down and serve people or whatever, because you don't even taste what you're eating anyway.
I bet. How about you? How are you work? That is a great point. Again, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's first of all, it's already conditioned again with commercials, and every grocery store that's in your neighborhood sends you a flyer for every traditional thing you have to eat, which I need to give a shout out to Brother Sheffy. Chef Dennis is in the audience, and I know he's getting ready for his show, but he's popping in some great comments as well. So I love having my chefs out here who I can see them talking to one another and giving that advice of alternative ways. So how about you, though? What are you finding with clients?
So I really like to, as you know, get people in touch with their inner athlete, not their inner sloth or their inner critic.
Right. Silence.
So your inner athlete would know that the holidays are coming. It's not a time to be rigid.
That's right.
Ourselves goals. But that doesn't mean you go into deep hiding either.
Or extremes. I think
yeah.
the biggest thing that I told you that I was clearly mentioning is the extremes of it. So one, like you set yourself up to already fail because you're going to extreme. And you do if you're really, and you talked about, you just mentioned it too, Lisa, the deprivation thing too. So everything's balanced, it sounds like.
So yeah, you want to remain flexible. For the acronym, in touch with your intuition, so you're still listening to that voice, because that, I feel like that's when your body cues you on when you're hungry, when you're not hungry anymore, when you need sleep, when you need, so I think tapping into that and keeping that connection with that inner voice is
And that's
key.
a great one. Sleep is the most under-talked about. I had radio all this morning, and everybody was like, what? It was like, that's the first place we fall, is we forget the night before to get a good night's sleep. That way we can hear those inner voices speak to us. No sleep, no rest, all bets off.
Yes, and I'll tell you that I was saying that before. I was at a Success Summit conference. I've mentioned it a couple of times, and it had a lot of big names, males and females, that are influential in a lot of the inspiration world. Of course, Ariana Huffington has been preaching it for about a year now, and you know that crazy broad had to be like going on 2 hours of sleep by the time she really got Huffington Post going. And a lot of these guys are flipping the opposite way. This whole like work till you drop thing that used to be the sign of of success, and lack of sleep is no longer. Thank God it's moving out of that trend. So yeah, you talked a lot about that too. Yeah,
and I think the other thing is remaining resilient. Not because I find with people, and you probably find this too, Lisa, that they think if they mess up, and I don't even consider it that, or they indulge that, oh my gosh, I messed up, I'm just going to keep going. You know, if you indulge the next day, pull back a little bit. Do what you need. You don't have to. It doesn't mean you're going to run the train off the tracks just because you enjoyed yourself a little bit. So.
And I always say to people, everyone's always so shocked, like, what do you suggest? I suggest you not diet on that day. When it's a lifestyle, this is like, for me, yeah, I'm having the apple pie. And everyone looks at me like, you're going to have it? Yes. And it's a festive day. Right, and this isn't a day to diet, and when you're living a lifestyle, there's only one Thanksgiving every year. There's only one Christmas, and if you're not having those black or white thinking moments and you keep it in the gray area, you find you'll indulge. You won't feel good when you're really in touch. I probably won't, but I'll get up tomorrow's a new day and a fresh start. You get up and you brush yourself off and you move on. You don't wait till Monday, though. That's not a good idea.
What a great reminder. Thank you for saying that. It's only one day. And I admit, too, like I've seen a lot of, things, modify and like try not to eat as much, which, yes, you don't want to go crazy. But you're right. It's only one day. Just let it be what it is and then just get back on. And this is the one thing I'm loving about our program, too. So last week we were in Beaver Creek, and I got this text from Ashley that just basically said, just take it easy, go enjoy, go be in love, go hang out. And it's just, that permission that you gave me, it was like a warm blankie.
And embrace your family, because ultimately this is about health, so that we can do that. And I honestly have seen many families broken up. I've seen children really go off the tracks because mom was so infatuated with her perfect body. And
that completely affects your children. Either end of the spectrum. Not caring for yourself.
That's right.
Right.
I should mention that the whipped carrots and cauliflower, so you can have more dessert. It wasn't to deprive anybody. I don't miss the starch if I have that, but I'm in it at the dessert. I'm a chocolate-covered strawberry girl. You can keep the wine, but I know where my limits are, and I don't worry.
Give me the wine.
That's right. You have the wine, I'll take the chocolate.
Well, you got to see.
Great date.
Now you know, yay wine. So bring it on over, Sister Christian. Will you post that? You keep mentioning that. Will you please post that recipe?
Yeah.
So
I will, by the way. I will.
I love
Actually,
that.
I don't know if that one's in my book, but everything in there, I am Italian and we live for food. And I realized when I got in shape, I'm like, oh, I want my food back. Like I lived.
That's why Laura loves you, by the way, our little Italian. And Nazima love you too.
Food too, though, and I took everything I grew up with. I had a very Italian grandfather, was the best. Everybody who's ever eaten his meatballs goes, Papa Vinny's. So I would sit and work with them for hours to make them over so that it was that, it's a little euphoric when you put it in your mouth. You're like, I'm the kind of person when I eat, everybody wants to cook for me because you know it's good when it goes in the mouth.
You're like me. I just say, I love my groceries.
That's right. That's
Mama
right.
loves her groceries. Here's what I'm loving too. I'm looking at all the comments, and guys, I'm not. I don't see as much because I'm really paying attention to my guests because I just want to hear everything they say. But you know what I'm loving too? If you watch the comments during the show, is that everybody has. It looks like a lot of people are figuring out what works for them too. So there's again we're gonna, because we're in this nation that there's a lot of food intolerance now. Don't even get me started about what's going into our chemicals, Monsanto crops, blah blah blah. That's a full 2 other shows. I have a feeling.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I'm loving that it looks like everybody's getting themselves educated about what works for them. Sheffy is on a gluten-free diet right now. He was not having problems with gluten, but decided to give it a try to see, because I think a lot of times talk about masking, that you don't know that your body maybe just doesn't do well on that because it's just getting by.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Are you finding that? I bet you're finding that a lot with a lot of your clients.
I totally agree, and I'm actually redoing my book as we speak because it doesn't say that enough. What I did, everybody has to eat like this for the most part. Not that we need to be 100% off gluten, because we all have a certain level of what we can get away with. But our world is so far to the left that in order to bring the pendulum, and you know this, Ashley, with behavior modification, in order to get that pendulum to land in the middle, we have to swing it severely to the opposite direction. So all my recipes are gluten-free. Not that you shouldn't have any, but I think for me it's the brain fog. I feel better. So when I cheat, I try to cheat in things that don't add that. And people say, but you know how to fix it. It's not about that. It's about how I feel, and I lose my connection to self when I eat certain foods. It just shuts it off. I'm not the same sharp mind. And
what a great way to say it. But talk about being in touch though and knowing what it is. What a great way, what a great habit to get into, to know what stuff is going to make you feel poorly and then just modify it.
Yes.
That's right.
I learned
no one
that.
ever wants to give up the stuff. Sorry. They don't want to give up the stuff, but you don't know until you clean out your palate and put it back in what it does to you.
Yes.
Right, Ashley?
Don't do that in the next 2 months, but do it. You're going to feel really, really badly. Coach G is in the audience, by the way. Coach G is the man for every woman. I'm going to start saying that every time I say it, by the way. He's awesome. Nazine wants to know if 50 and 6 is going to impact my Italian tour. Oh, hell to the no, brother. That's part of what is going to Italy in March for the birthday.
I'm going to sneak into that trip with her.
You're going to sneak into that? I'll be like, why is my bag so
But
heavy?
actually, don't you love Italy? Because they walk so much there, and the food is so fresh, and they know what portions are still in Italy for the most part, that you will come back better enjoying it.
I'm thinking so. I was just talking with Ifat, my friend Ifat Cohen, that a lot of you know, and she's from Israel, and she's like, just go, anything that's just Mediterranean, they got it going on.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
They know what it's all
about.
And
they like
too.
Naps.
Me too.
I need to just get these interchangeable signs that just has yay naps, and then I can
That's right.
whatever I want. And Heidi Hornlein is in the audience too. Girlfriend is a German living in Italy, so she's got it all going on. Hey, talk to us real quick about your book. We mentioned it, the Metabolism Solution. Let's get into that, and then we're going to start wrapping it up and maybe pull in a few more questions and get some more info. So tell us about your book.
Bible. It has everything you need and the why behind it. How to eat, very much, Ashley, you would love it. I talked about my story in it, and while I was writing it, I actually came down and got melanoma. And I have to say, I got a whole other bar raise in my mental, I got a bar raise in my eating, because as the doctor, I made him do my surgery awake.
You're cool.
I have goosebumps just from hearing that. Wow.
I mean, and I'll be honest, I really felt like this book was ordained, if you will, and that I was called to write it because I struggled and I never understood why does this trainer struggle, because a lot of people do, and the fact that I'm honest with people and I understand the struggle, like your struggle, helps it, makes it better. None of us want to see the perfect trainer who doesn't. I think that makes us better teachers. But I realized that people need all the tools that they need. They don't need gimmicks. It needs to be a lifestyle. So everything you need to make it a lifestyle, including here's fun food, here's what to feed your family versus, you know, not to throw any diets under the bus, but I'm not a lover of paleo, especially as I've learned more oncology's perspective on high fat and how bad it is for your body. Here's what your whole family can eat. And my philosophy is if you can't give it to your kids, you probably shouldn't be doing it either. If you can't take that into the gym and do things together, you probably shouldn't do it either. It should be like your parents, hats off to them, Ashley, did a good job. I wasn't born and bred of that, and I talk about that in my book. I come from a beer-drinking NASCAR family. That was the only lifting they did, by the way, was lifting. And my family did.
No, I'm from North Carolina, so I know about NASCAR. When I moved there, I learned
exactly
about it.
where they're from, by the way. And they're like, who are you talking about in the book? And I'm laughing. They really don't know that it's not only do they love their beer, you know, caseloads of them, but then the eating that goes along with it. So I was not popped out of the womb looking the way people see. It's been a struggle, but I think that my struggles, my mess has become my message. My, you know, my problems are my passion.
Messes become your message.
Yeah.
Preach it, preach it. I love it. Now, are you going on a book tour right now? I know you mentioned.
I'm all the time on a book tour. Like this morning, I woke up at 4:30 and someone tweeted, "Lisa Lynn's going to be on the radio," and I was like, "Oh, that's me. I have a radio thing." Because like starting with all these different times, why do I do that? I do it because there's always someone out there hurting. Like I was depressed, was really depressed. I just felt yucky, physically, mentally, spiritually. I was shut down in a wreck. So if I can reach one person, it's my motivation. Then I want to reach the TV screen, pull them off the couch, and I get up and I think that that's what, like you, Ashley, that's what we're ordained to do.
All right, ladies, listen, I want to get, give me a couple, I know what she's going to say, because she gives me the best, yeah, but wait, there's more of it. I love, with my working with you, is these very, very simple things. The best thing that I have learned, now this, I still won't give up my hospital cup. This is from much. I love this thing. I just look like a patient, but I don't care, but it really does help me with the water intake. So, you know, the one thing I learned from you was just that water in the morning. So give me a couple other things that we can share with everybody for just, you know, just preparing for the next 2 months.
I would say I'll give you 3 things that I think are important that are very simple. I'd say water intake. I love that one, especially when you wake up in the morning. I think if you get your water in the morning, right when you wake up, a glass of water before your coffee, as we've been working on that.
So good point, Ashley.
I wish you had a camera on me at the coffee pot, because I have this sitting there, and then the coffee's, and I just am giving that like the baby in The Simpsons when she would give dirty looks. Like I'm giving the water a dirty look, but I get it done. Working for me. It's working.
And you bring up a huge point before the coffee, because I actually had to put my coffee machine away in the other room when I got melanoma because I wanted to pump green tea. And coffee's really good for you. But I knew that if I didn't put that coffee machine away, the green tea wasn't happening. So I can reach my quota with water, get it, and then absolutely turn on to a cup of coffee. Good point.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What else?
Get that in. The other, I would say, and I know there's mixed reviews out there, and Lisa, you can tell me what you think. There's been information that's come out that Americans eat too much protein. I personally don't find that with my clients, that they're usually not eating enough. It's usually that they're kind of in that carb cycle.
Totally.
I think it's totally healthy to eat carbs, and I would never tell anyone to cut it out.
Right.
But up your protein. Make sure you have a good protein-packed breakfast.
Yes.
That will help, even having protein before you go to a party. You know, having eaten fiber, you could have an apple if that's all you had time for.
Apple with the water and the fiber.
Yeah.
But it's about the source, though. That's what I learned from you too. Is like, what is that source? Is it organic, or what's it coming from? You know, it's getting the good sources of it, right?
Yes.
Right.
And apples especially, you really want to buy organic apples.
Yay.
Yes.
That's
cool.
They taste so much better, don't they?
Yes.
They do. They really do.
And the third one for me, and I learned this from Todd Herman, who is of the Peak Athlete. So he's a sports psychologist but works with a lot of Olympic athletes. And he says a big one is to script your setbacks. So know what your weaknesses are, kind of what you were speaking to, Lisa, that you had to put your coffee pot away because then you knew that you wouldn't get your green tea in.
Right.
So know what your weaknesses are and script how you're going to deal with them when you walk into a party. Put the focus on the people that you're seeing for however long you haven't seen them that year, you know, instead of on the food and being
100%.
and
Right.
all that.
So it sounds like taking steps too. So it's just
small
more of like,
steps.
but empowering yourself too. Like, stop waiting for you to not feel that way. Take the steps, which is one.
You're never going to feel that way. It's never going to be a good time. And I actually find it was definitely an art, but I have more fun at parties now. I don't drink. That was an art to loosen up without it. And then also I'm so focused. I could go home in a room of 30. I will know so much about 30 people. And people are like, how did you get all that? Because I wasn't obsessed with the food, walking myself away. So I had to go to the parties pre-fed, or if it didn't have something, my thing is I don't get many meals, I'm going to love them. So if something there is subpar, I'm not wasting my calories.
That's true. That's I love that, because I'll go somewhere, because I do like to, you know, if I'm going somewhere and there's going to be a prepared dinner, I really want to enjoy it.
Me too.
Because you know, sometimes you don't have time to make yourself these big, nice meals, and
so if somebody else is cooking it, heck yeah, I want to be present.
And if it doesn't taste good, that's like such a downer.
And don't waste the calories.
I'm like, I'm not even going to try this. I'll just go for something else.
Right. But I love that prep you're talking about, and you're right, not being focused on the food, but it sounds like being present. So being present.
And that sounds easy, but it isn't. And for a lot of people, they're autopilot eating, shoving food in their mouth, and they don't even know what they ate. They'll tell you they only ate a little. Right, Ashley? Yes. Everybody says that. Only a little.
Everyone also says that they eat healthy. And for the most part, they do and don't, though. There's always
I think it's
you
about
uncover.
and Krystalle has a good point. Eating crap protein. When you up your protein, be sure it's clean protein. So I think being a label detective too. Again, everything is about empowering yourself. How about
know your numbers?
Right, know your numbers. Give us some quick takeaways, Lisa, for the holidays.
The other thing that's good is to always be the best guest you can possibly be. So don't laugh, but I always have a really cool crudité plate in the trunk of my car. Because if I walk in, shockingly, they're so
healthy.
Yeah, if you can't find it, bring it.
Well, because they don't have vegetables. And for me, I like to eat a lot. I'm not proud of that. So there's always the bad stuff, which I definitely succumb to. But if I don't have those vegetables to fill up on, I'm in big trouble. So one, I never like to go empty-handed. I hung out with Martha Stewart too long. But I always want to make sure that I nailed my numbers with vegetables. And as long as, like you said, protein, if your focus is on protein and veggies and you nail your numbers, you don't have much time to, and water, you don't have much time to overeat in the bad categories. It's when we shift our focus and we're not paying attention to and we fall in the hole. So the other thing is, know you need a nap, like you said. If you're really frazzled and you're going to your mother-in-law's and she's one of your trigger people, you might want to, like, I listen to some praise and worship or something to get into that loving, play with my dogs, something that gets me in a good mood so I go there and I'm not set off, because forget about it if you go there and you like, people eat because they're mad. Have you ever seen that? I'm amazed. Why would you want to hurt yourself like that?
Yeah. Wow. No, that is excellent advice too. I love that. Well, listen, we're gonna wrap up. Do you want to do what's on? I didn't tell you what's on, so it's a surprise. Let's do what's on the bottom. Lisa, stand up. Let's see what's on the bottom.
Oh, let's see. I get my workout clothes on.
Of course you do. Yay!
Sorry, I'm real cute from the gym today. If it's not attractive, it was worked out today.
I'm with you. I had to make this sow's ear into a silk purse. I'm just saying. Here's our what's on the bottom, right? I got my little workout pants.
I have my workout pants.
Oh, girl.
We are actually working out after this.
I love that, and I love your program that you're doing, because I believe 50 is better than 40, 60 is better than 50. It just keeps getting better.
Yay! Thank you. I know I think it's great to just embrace. I think it's about embracing it too.
It is.
I love the embracing inner athlete because I ain't got one. I always say if I'm running, you better check for zombies behind me.
And I think it's not about running. That's right.
Thank God. It is not about running at all.
Like if you can't do, a lot of women can't do push-ups, give yourself, I want to do a six-pack, something to reach for forever. That's just your goal, not what your neighbor's doing. It's not about size or weight, but it's empowering in your body when you can do a nice push-up.
It really is, yeah. I mean, we're on week, this is at the end of week 7, we're almost at 8, and it is, man, it has been, it's been a good slow burn, and she's put it in ways that don't overwhelm me too, so, yeah.
That's right.
And I was warned in the beginning that she does not love to work out. Not only by her.
Oh, by Greg, yeah. There's been some swearing.
Well, you know, people don't realize you don't have to bleed, because if she hurts you, you can't get up and do it again the next day. Smart trainers don't do that. We send you home wanting more, because then you can keep repeating the behavior. Like Ashley's clearly one of those. I would never work if I lived there where you girls live. Up the mountains, you know.
Yeah, it is a good 340 days of sun, girlfriend. There's always time to do some good stuff. So
it's nice out today.
I love it. Okay, so let's do our back crap crazy. So you guys out there in the audience, you know what that is. That's when each of our guests talks about a person, place, or thing, or anything that they want, that they're back crap crazy about, and that they love. And I'm sneaking it in on you a little bit. I'll start so you'll kind of give an idea. But mine's today. I'm friggin' back crap crazy for flax seeds. I have a little bit of a problem, I think. I love flax seeds. I look like an old man with chew. Because I always got these little flax seeds going, but they're good. Omega, so that's what I'm back crap crazy about.
You don't mix them with anything. You just eat them,
I just chew on them. Okay. Yeah, and then I'm also back crap crazy for Vermouth. That's my new brand, Tastic. Because look at these fun little things.
I love you.
I didn't get him, so I'm close up, but I feel like I'm having a little throwback to the 80s, and I'm okay with that.
I like it. I want a pair.
Vermouth.com, you guys. I will get you the info on that one, too. So let's see. Do you know what your back crap crazy is?
I am definitely back crap crazy, and I'm so excited I have these, because I didn't know about this.
See these. I'm going to steal them from her.
This past weekend, I got some leg warmers.
Oh.
Thigh-high leg warmers.
Oh, they're so hot.
Because I'm always like, I have long pants to wear for exercise, but more of my pants are cropped.
But look at this. So, it's got the little thing like I have for this, for
your foot. So then you can do Pilates. I'm a huge fan of Pilates, reformer Pilates. And you can do yoga in them. And
you're warm.
Yes. You're warm.
I'm going to roll her in the parking lot for these bad boys, just so you know. She's going to go home without them. Where are they from?
They're from Lululemon.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. They're an investment. It's Lululemon.
They are. I had a gift card.
They cheap.
Gift card.
That's awesome. I love it. How about you, Lisa? What are you back crap crazy
All right,
about?
I ate my back crap crazy thing that I love. I made a chocolate lean bar that tastes like a Tootsie Roll, and it has high quality protein for the 2 problems you have. And everybody falls in love with them. But frankly, I'd make them for myself if no one else did. It's gone. I ate it. But it tastes like a Tootsie Roll. It has 15 grams of protein in it, 14 grams of fiber, almost no fat, all good. And I eat too many of them.
Oh my gosh, is that something you made?
Yeah, I have it on my website. It's literally like a homemade bar. It's not mass produced. It sells nowhere because I take such a high grade protein, but I love chocolate. And so I managed to find a way to put it into a Tootsie Roll, kind of. That's cool. And so I never miss my protein anymore meal. Before that I did, and I struggled. Now I'm like, is it time yet? How long have we been? It might be time for another one. You can always usually find one in my pockets, my purse. The dogs steal them, and that's my thing.
When I meet you, I'm going to pat you down.
That's funny.
To see what's going on in those pockets, girlfriend. So, will you post that too? Like, okay, so everybody, Ashley and Lisa will post all of their links, and we just, feel free to also reach out to them. Please circle them. Both of them are fairly new at Google+, so why don't you show them how Google+ makes you feel warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. I have a holiday challenge coming up, too, so you can check that out.
Yes.
I'll post that.
Yep, absolutely. So what's your call to action? Where can we find you?
So you can find me at dailypowerfit.blogspot.com. I have a website in the works. And you can also find me on Google Plus under Ashley DePaulis.
Yay! Thank you for that. Love you. Thank you. We're going to go get our work on it. How about you, Lisa? Where can we find you? What should we do? Tell us what to do.
I have a website, lynnfit.com, but Facebook, Lisa Lynn, Lisa Lynn Fitness, Twitter, @Lisa Lynn. But I answer all my own emails, so if anybody has questions, I answer every single one myself. Happy to help.
Oh, love it. This is why we bring them on. So, hey guys, listen, stay fit so that in January you're not all depressed. There's a lot of great information that we got. Tune in, and if you'll follow or subscribe at themiaconnect.com. I also will have the 50 and 6 videos on there too, because they're pretty funny. We usually look pretty janky in those, so if you're looking to get entertained by us on the down low, that's the way to go. So again, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. I'm so grateful and thankful for everybody out there in the audience. So
thank you. You too. Have a good Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye, everyone.